Right. Final premium module. I read a little bit about it. Also found out that you can actually get the premium modules now these days. Not for this game version, but there's an enhanced edition of Neverwinter Nights, and they sell the premium modules as DLCs to it. They're not very expensive, and I can guarantee that's for a good reason, because most of these suck. Anyhow, Infinite Dungeons. The information I got from this is that this is basically an attempt to do something like Diablo or roguelike dungeon crawling adventure on the Neverwinter Nights engine. There's a few problems with it. You can sort of direct it to be somewhat class appropriate if you choose to, but the main problem is that it favors certain type of classes over others. Even then, the main problem is that you can't rest at demand, and there's a huge amount of loot to get the adventure throws your way. So caster, especially mage type caster classes, are the worst off in this adventure. I was sort of planning on playing some sort of a caster like that, but I don't want to intentionally make my game difficult for myself, because it's not a typical role-playing adventure to begin with. So mainly I'm saying there's gonna be a lot of fighting in it. A lot of fighting. And combine that with a low-level character. I think you start at level 5, and you have to struggle to rest, struggle to carry loot around. It's just a horrible combination. So I'm thinking of playing a martial character again, but a little bit of a different type this time. We want ass-kicking killing power, basically. Good work. I'm thinking about a weapon master. I don't want to play a defensive fighter. I want someone to basically just slaughters everything quickly. Something that doesn't rely too much on resting. We can't start with a weapon master naturally though, so there's gonna be limitations what we can do. This is appropriate, I guess. I also don't want two one-handed weapons. I want a two-handed weapon. What does a weapon master actually need? Base attack bonus +5, so that's you need to be 5th level at least. Weapon focus in a melee weapon, so yeah. Now the question is, do I want a shield? And I don't really have an answer to that yet. Because a high armor class would reduce the amount of resting and things like that they have to do, heals in general. But on the other hand, a one-hand weapon does a critical amount of damage compared to a two-hand weapon usually. On the other hand, if you're going for critical hit kills, you really want a lot of attack rolls. And in many ways, it doesn't matter what the base weapon damage is. You want as large of a critical threat range as possible. So rapier or a saber is a perfect choice for that. Alternatively, do something like Sky, because that fucker has I think a 4 or 5 time multiplier on critical hits. So when it hits, it doesn't matter how much damage resistance the target has, the target dies. So something like that, maybe. Right. We need a weapon focus. Whip focus. We need a dodge. That means okay, we need dexterity and intellect. I think 13 at least. Expertise. Yeah. That's a lot of... Oh, spring attack? And whirlwind attack. That's a lot of feats. So do I really want that? And intimidate, okay. I think I do. Because otherwise I'm playing the same character I played in the core Merit Adventure, pretty much, and I don't want to do that. Weapon of choice. We are using a single weapon and that's all we're ever gonna use. It's a two-handed weapon of some sort. That might be a problem though. It's because Sky is a rare weapon. So can we really rely on us getting that sort of a weapon here on a regular basis? It might be better to take all the weapon skills first. So no matter what type of weapon we find, we can use it. +2 to weapon's choice of threat range, 7th level. That's the big thing. Right, definitely fighter. Let's go with lawful good. But we must have dexterity 13, we must have intellect 13. Strength is pretty important if we want to ask him. Then we probably want intellect a little bit because we need to have skill points. And as much constitution as we can afford. Right. We're looking to kick ass and not do all that much else. Intimidate. Nothing is more important than intimidation. Where is it? Okay, we're gonna still be left with a lot of extra points. I don't recall how much intimidate we need, but this is gonna take a long time to get. Fumble is probably worthless because I'm not going to be using a light armor, so we have so many negatives on this that it'll go below 0. Lore might be useful because if this is a huge amount of loot, it means I don't want to have to go to some kind of a shop to identify everything. So some sort of basic gear has to be identifiable by my own character. So discipline. I don't want to be the victim of all these abilities. Alright, we have a long list of feats we have to take. But I think we are still gonna start with power attack and cleave. Human might have been a better class choice then. Much better class race choice. Because we get the extra feat out of that. How much intimidate do we need? 4, so that's... yeah, that's not a problem. Two points less constitution. what? In addition to that, this we have one extra skill point per level. Start with the 4 extra ones. So we can basically start trading an extra skill. Tumble does provide armor class bonuses. You get enough. So this could be a very good thing, especially if we use the two-handed weapon. The armor class bonus will be useful. Compensate. Right, 3 feats. Power attack. Cleave. Dodge, mobility, expertise, spring attack, whirlwind, weapon focus. Might as well start with the weapon focus, although we don't have the exotic proficiency yet. Might want an exotic weapon. 200 weapons without that. There aren't that many interesting things. Great sword, great axe, and I think a heavy flail. That's pretty much it. Halberd. Right. I'll take mandatory things. Expertise is survival. Dodge is survival. None of this matters.
At my command, to the fight! Onward!
Some souls are born, they live their little lives and then they die. But I was never one of those. You see, dark deals are struck in the alleys of Waterdeep, but the darkest deeds occur in a place called Undermountain, far below. Plots are hatched, coins change hands, dark doors are opened. Many heroes have entered this ever-changing labyrinth, intent on destroying its madness. But they were too weak. But I am a patient soul, and someday one will come who can unravel the secrets of Undermountain.
That seems to imply that there is sort of a plot here. Guide. Okay, a lot of guides. Dungeon control, dungeon journal, dungeon map, encampments, forge system, henchmen, monster cellars, puzzles, secret rooms. Okay, secret rooms. What's so special about these? The wise man says, be cautious and take in all that you can see. Do not trust your mind, but look at the truth. Not what your mind shows you. There are places hidden in the depths. Foolish man says, secret places probably hold things that will kill me. The wise man says, there is danger in the secret places, but also rewards. When you already face great danger, why fear more? The foolish man says, I can never find secret doors anyway. So search might have been a good skill to say. Puzzles. The wise man says, puzzles are a good exercise in manipulation, but a sharp mind uses all the clues provided. The foolish man says, I don't like puzzles, I will just walk right by them. The wise man says, the rewards for solving a puzzle are not just the pleasant sense of accomplishment, but treasures for the body as well. The foolish man says, I'd hate puzzles. No, really, hate. But I do like treasure. Not a huge fan of puzzles. Depends on the puzzles. My problem really is that there's quite often they're so logic puzzles. The logic puzzles are problematic because unless you're really good at logic puzzles in general, you train for them. They might be tough to otherwise see the solution if that's the first time you encounter that type of puzzle. But if you've done the logic puzzles before, you sort of start to probably get fairly quickly what they're going after. Depends on the puzzles. Usually games have fairly easy puzzles though, so you don't have to do the really tough ones. Monster Seller. The wise man says, the one surrounded by horrors, he is not the slave, he is the master. The foolish man says, fear the beast and fear their master more. The wise man says, I have no fear, but the master can give the gifts of mastery to you, though there is a price. It is well worth paying. Foolish man says, you want me to trust that? Henchman. The wise man says, trust those who follow you, for their lot depends on yours. Guide them well, lest you lose them before you need them. The foolish man says, I need no one, I stand alone. The wise man says, when the danger to me is significant, the danger to us is less. The many can face what the one dares not. Share your experiences with them, that they may share them with you. Foolish man says, is that a succubus follower? I love this dungeon. Forge system. The wise man says, when the spirit of the forge is powerful, see the sparks that it gives off. The spirit is pleased and ready to perform. Foolish man says, this is going to cost me gold, isn't it? The wise man says, place the item you wish to enchant into the forge and speak to the spirit of the forge. The spirit of the forge is gracious and may grant your desires. The foolish man says, I do not need the aid of the spirits. The wise man says, if the correct recipes are found and the components are yours, the spirit of the forge will create powerful enchantments. Foolish man says, maybe I shouldn't have sold all those gems. Encampments. The wise man says, there are many who will fight me, but some who will help me. Those who do not attack are allies. They might assist me. Foolish man says, kill first, ask questions later. The wise man says, those who are peaceful might have spells to cast, enchanted items for sale, gold to purchase, all that I do not need, or monsters to sell me. They might even become allies. The foolish man says, monsters? I can own monsters. Dungeon map. Wise man says, use the map, for it shall guide you to that which is good. See the stairs, the puzzles, the villains, the encampments, and the quests. These are all good. Foolish man says, wander blindly, that all may come as a surprise. The wise man says, look how the map appears on the floor before you. Ponder its simplicity as it shows the way. Ponder the complexity that provides magical guidance. This is good. Foolish man says, who drew on the floor? How annoying. Dungeon journal. The wise man says, use the journal, for its word shall remind you of the past and drive you towards the future. The foolish man says, I hate reading. The wise man says, follow the paths that wander through the journal. See how they wander through the twists of life. See how they direct the orchestra of existence. Foolish man says, paper is good for starting fires. Dungeon control. The wise man says, listen to the voice of reason as you enter the dungeon. The voice gives you control. The voice gives you options. The foolish man says, random is more fun. The wise man says, the voice gives you more power as you gain more power. The more you explore, the more you can control. Foolish man says, I am getting a little tired of this wise guy. The wise man says, the dungeon journal can also give you control, affecting the inside from without is more effective than controlling the inside from within. The foolish man says, you mean I can't make the dungeon turn into a fiery death pit while my friends are inside? That's okay. Helpful tips, hopefully. What do we have? I'm definitely a first level character, yes, basic gear. I mean basic of the basics. This is not a good adventuring gear. Scrinkles. Scrinkles is a cat who likes affection. If you're nice to him, he'll follow you anywhere. Okay. Panther. Small panther, but panther still. Little Timmy.
Who are you? Are you a brave and powerful adventurer? I sure hope you are. There are lots of brave people in Waterdeep, but most of them don't come in here. I'm sure glad you did. My name is Timmy, but most people call me Little Timmy because of my friend Big Timmy. But he died, so I guess I could just be Timmy, except I'm used to being Little Timmy now. What's your name?
My name is Liney Nefsen, and I am the brave adventurer whom you seek.
Oh, thank you. I was so scared before you came. My friends and I always play in the back streets of Waterdeep, and sometimes we would sneak into a warehouse like this just to see if there was anything to do. That's what we were doing here when we heard a rumbling and saw that door appear. At first, we were afraid to enter, but then Big Timmy said we were too afraid to go in. We wanted to prove we were not afraid, so we went in, and Big Timmy came too.
You had to go in then. Never show fear.
Yes, that is exactly it. We didn't want to be thought chickens, so we went in. But then there were monsters and bad things and a horrid, powerful evil that came and took my friends, and now they're all gone or dead or something. I ran away and escaped and tried to get grown-ups to come and find my friends and kill the bad things, but they all keep dying. Even big, tough warriors and other adventurers have died. So I am trying to find the bravest, best adventurer of all.
But have you learned anything about this place?
One of the adventurers came back to trade with me, and he said that this place is actually a door to Undermountain. So I have been getting people to pay me so they can enter. There was this one guy who came in here, and he was a little chicken, I think, and he tried to rob me. But I didn't have any gold or silver or copper or any other colored dragons, so I let him see my secret adventure place, and he gouged his own eyes out. You won't do that, will you? So what do you think? Will you go into the special adventuring place? Can you destroy the evil thing that killed all my friends? Are you brave enough?
What happened? What happened to the guy who clawed out his eyes?
I think he was ripped apart by a pack of ghouls. It was very messy. I think he might be a zombie now.
How do you know what happens down there?
Sometimes people come back and tell me, but sometimes I just make it up. My dad says that I have a very active imagination.
I thought you said you were an orphan.
I am. He's not my real father, just the orphan's protector. We make sure we bring him food and gifts, and he keeps the adults and guards away from us, as much as possible. But he's dead now. He was the first person I told, and he went in, but he hardly got in the door when he was attacked and eaten by harpies. I don't like harpies much. They're pretty ugly. But there are lots of monsters in Undermountain, lots of ways to die.
Okay, I've made my decision.
Oh, good. That sounds really great. Except that you haven't told me what the decision is. But other than that, it sounds swell. Maybe, before you go in, you could buy one of the treasures that I found? So...
Okay, show me what you have for sale.
I will gladly show you what I have to sell, if you will simply agree to go into the special adventuring place and destroy the evil hiding in the depths. So how about it? Feeling adventuresome?
I will enter.
This is so exciting. I wish I could go with you, but you will make certain you come back and tell me how things are going, right? Oh, and here is a special map and a journal to help you on your way. Hopefully they will help you keep safe. The thing that killed my friends is hiding somewhere down there. Please kill it so that no one else has to suffer like my friends. Here, just to help you, see if there is anything you would like to buy.
You have 50 gold, so I'm not exactly gonna buy a lot. But Shield, maybe. It's about the cheapest thing we can buy that will drastically increase our survival. Alright, and we're penniless, so it doesn't really matter what they have. Oh, what the? Portable encampment. Yeah, that's pretty goddamn big. It is an entire inventory screen. Weighs 50 pounds. Unique power self only, unlimited use per day. There are many dangers lurking in Undermountain, and unwary travelers can find themselves accosted or even killed by resting in unsecure surroundings. By using a portable encampment by Adventure Co., they can rest easy in the peace and security provided by an encampment designed and built by the lowest bidder. So this would have sort of solved our resting problem with a mage, except it weighs 50 pounds, and I'm a fighter with pretty much as much strength as is possible to get, and I can only carry 200. A mage carry weight is 100 pounds or less, usually. So you're throwing away half your carry weight, more or less, in order to be able to play somewhat normally. And an inventories page. Not that you could carry that much loot anyway after that. But I'm broke, so I can't afford to buy anything anyway. Let's look at the dungeon journal. This is your dungeon journal. It has handy notes about all the dungeons you have adventured in so far. It also contains information on what you have accomplished in each dungeon and your current quests. Does this work in the same way? Yes. This is the map of the dungeon you are currently in. This map shows the layout of the level you are currently on, and the important features of each area you have explored. The following are symbols that appear on your map. Camp. This area has a camp of fellow adventurers within the dungeon. Puzzle piece. This area has a puzzle which can yield a reward if solved. Exclamation mark. There is a quest giver in the area. Staircase. There is a staircase up or down in this area. Crossed swords. There is a boss waiting in this area. Okay. How does this actually work though? Can only be used inside a dungeon. Okay. Dungeon it is then. Infinite Dungeons is recommended for players level 5 and higher. One or more players are below level 5. They can be leveled up automatically, so they recommend you at least do it. Widow Hagatha's home. Customized dungeon basic. The dungeon is currently set to default settings. Anything can appear in the dungeon. Customized dungeon for fighter type characters, customized for rogue type characters, customized for mage type characters. Set dungeon to default settings, cleric and druid. Okay, what does this do? You can customize the dungeon to make it more suitable to certain types of character classes. A dungeon customized for fighter type characters features heavier armor and martial weapons, as well as increased number of creatures. A dungeon customized for rogue type characters features lighter weapons and armor and more traps and secret areas. A dungeon customized for mage type characters features no heavy armor or weapons, but increased number of mage specific items. If the dungeon is on default setting, anything can appear. I think we're gonna at least start by default settings, because that's usually the best case in every scenario. Once you know what the default is, then you can start adjusting. Enter Widow Hagatha's home. Generating dungeon, generating area, activating area. Here's an encampment. I wonder how many different type of dungeons there are in total. Intimidation is the only thing we must take. Also, I'm thinking search might be a useful thing if there are secrets. Mobility allows us to dodge attacks of opportunity. Need to take it anyway. Take expertise. Dodge, mobility, expertise, spring attack, whirlwind, intimidate. We are all about the strength. Offensive capabilities. Well, I don't know how much discipline do we really need. How much lore do we really need? Lore is a convenience thing, so I'm seeing on the skill points a little bit. Greater cleave, yeah, we want greater cleave. It's especially useful if we take a hard-hitting weapon as our weapon focus. Still, it's not something we need. Spring attack is something we need. Enemies do not get attacks of opportunity against the character. This is very valuable, especially if it's me against a lot of enemies. So I'll take that first. It's needed for the whirlwind attack anyway, which is again a hugely useful ability to have if it's me against the world. Okay. This very basic tent is not the most comfortable place to spend the night, but still better than having nothing to cover you. So, I just explore it or... it's automatic rest, but I don't need to rest. Rats! Dire rats! Epic combat right there. I need to just check the journal though, and the map, whatever they are. We open the journal to its beginning and peruse its contents. So there's a quest log, statistics, and we can use to customize the dungeon. Total points, number of deaths, creatures killed, levels gained, puzzles solved, areas discovered, maximum depth achieved, secrets discovered, locks picked, traps disarmed, plots completed. Bosses defeated. Mini bosses defeated. Okay. Plots. Are plots quests? Or is it something else? Because there's no quests here. Right, this isn't particularly useful. Ah. Stairs. I think that's a camp, I think. But I don't recall, that's definitely an anvil. There was no mention of that in here. But there was in the journal. Yeah, forge system. Something about gems and recipes. Golden and unidentified armor. We probably should go toward the camp first. Hopefully they have a merchant there. That way we can go there and just dump all the loot. Merchant, cat minion, monster seller, spellcaster, another tent, mystic anvil. There are no items in the mystic forge to enchant. Mystic Forge holds us with power, waiting for you to select which recipe you. And I have no recipe, so there are no options. Okay, so it relies on things I don't have. Monster seller. Suppose I could buy a cat. I already have a Mr. Squinkles. Sells healing. Or cast a spell on. The options seem to depend on the amount of gold I have, so since I'm piss poor, he doesn't offer any. Fairly basic merchant. Can I even afford to? Yeah, not enough money to identify. We need more loot, otherwise we can't do anything. Hopefully, and we need to hope that the loot is worth the identification cost. Cats and rats. Not exactly a big combat, but also all the enemies hit me constantly without effort. Doing much more damage than I do as a dedicated fighter. I'm pretty much dead already. This is just amazing. The heavier armor and enough money to identify it. I need to rest anyway. We are not really getting any experience from killing things. Spent play mail +1. And that's all the money I had. Still, a decent increase in armor class. Right. Fairly slow to start, I'd say, but on the other hand, if I can't even afford to buy myself a proper weapon, so no complaints. As long as things start to roll forwards fairly quickly. I don't want to be killing rats for all eternity. Block path. I'm assuming this is because the the system generates these levels, so it has pathways that are not used in all maps, so it blocks them with something. Another armor. Seems like the game has only magical here pretty much. Can't find a single normal item. They don't drop any loot. Magical wand, magical arrows. Piercing damage 1. Weight reduction 80%. Weightless arrows. A goblin robe. An amulet and a bracer. Additional wizard level 0 slot. Taunt +1. But we're basically just getting magical items. And nothing but magical items. Yeah, another one. We have not enough money to identify a few items, which hopefully give me enough money to identify the rest. So lore could be very valuable here. Ooh. Magical stuff. Alchemist fire, magical. Dark gold scale gem. Oddly shaped gem could almost be taken for the scale of some giant beast. Your heart suddenly begins to beat rapidly whenever you touch gem to your flesh. Often used as component in magical recipe. Ray of Frost, 50 charges. Unusable. I think this is probably a non-fighter's dungeon or area. Because there certainly aren't all that many enemies. On the other hand, we're getting all types of loot. So, I have to say, I think we have to be in some sort of a corner. There's only 2 access paths. East and north. Barely any enemies. I mean, this amount of enemies would not have been too much of a problem for any even lower level character than I am. He doesn't have infinite lore potions, but because I'm so poor, this is probably the cheapest way to identify this. Acid Splash. Light Flail +1. Daze. +1 armor. +1 armor. Fire Resistance 5. Skill bonus Listen +1. +1 shield. Scale mail +1. Well, this isn't a great weapon, but it's still a better weapon than I currently have. Not a great amulet, but better than I currently have. And not a good bracer. I'm still gonna sell it. The gold I'm gonna get from it is more valuable than what it does. We're getting decent, well, half decent fighters, I guess. Can't identify the arrows. Weightless arrows. We probably should hold on to some ranged weapon capability at least. There's no telling what we're going to encounter. That said, might not be a horrible idea to just buy a bow. So problem solved. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a full plate. Probably a shield too, or a two-handed weapon alternatively. At the same time, I don't think it'll make much difference at this moment. Currently, I need the shield more than I need anything else. The tower shield just weighs more, doesn't protect anymore. Yeah, I would need a magical one. I could afford something else. But since the game seems to be throwing a decent amount of loot my way constantly, I'm not sure I want to buy it all for much. Let's say restoration potion, always useful. If we do get ability traits, I can restore that. Spellcasting rings, not useful. Right, I'll get a couple of healers kits. If we get into a situation where we do need to restore hit points and I don't have a resting opportunity nearby, I'd like to be able to recover fairly well. Attention supplies. Right. I afford to buy buffs. Magic weapon, protection from good, protection from evil, amplify, iron dust, these are all terrible things. I could buy a cat minion. Right, we're in the lower left corner. There's nothing of interest here, this is more of a base of operations. Pick a direction and go. So far, fairly uneventful. But we're at the first level of our first dungeon, so I'm not sure what I would be expecting at this point. Dungeon map of level 1 of Widow Hagatha's Hall. They're hitting me a little bit too well. Uploading everything at this point because I don't really have cash, so even if it's sort of borderline worthless to me, it doesn't matter. Right, can't identify shields. There's a boss and a puzzle. No, that's a quest and a puzzle. Right, bosses were crossed swords. Exclamation mark is a quest. This has to be the puzzle. color puzzle. Never seen that one before in any of the Neverwinter Nights games. Skeleton Commander. Looks dangerous. Be the boss. Doesn't really matter who we attack, just who attacks. Ooh, he has some kind of a attribute training attack. Is there restoration potions or only did I find hold to this adventure? Sorcerer extra spell.
The good of all!
Troll. Friendly troll though. Mr. Quest Giver. I wonder if he regenerates. I mean, is he an actual troll? Yes. Chimora's luck. I'm so glad you stopped to speak with me. I think I can trust you enough to tell you I'm called Calberon. We hate that there are dire rats alive on Level 1. My mates desire for you to eradicate them and I will reward you for each one. I will need to accompany you on this task. I can afford to pay you 50 gold and experience for each dire rat you eradicate. That should take you no time at all, right? Okay, fine. That's what I like to hear. Goodbye, friend. He's by far the better fighter and he regenerates. He has a huge amount of points. He's an armor class. Massive strength. What is he? He's a giant, level 5. Dark vision, alertness, iron will, creature, weapon proficiency. Can't we just let the troll do all the fighting? I mean, he's gonna be better at it than I am anyway. Also gonna act as a distraction. Don't hit my cat. Well, these guys provided me some experience. Magical gear, magical gear, magical gear, magical gear. But our cat friend Mr. Scrinkle is in terrible shape. Can't identify anything. So either we ignore lore from this point on, or we have to invest in it significantly. Right, I don't see why we'll probably have to go back and rest just for Mr. Crinkles, but we might as well do the puzzle first. Could be... you don't probably want to take part in this part.
Here you meet your end!
Creature killed. I didn't get the gold reward directly. Yeah, 50 gold, 50 experience. So I have to ask for it.
To the fight! Onward!
Okay, what do we have here in Puzzle Town? We have rune pillars, we have switches, we have rooms, we have a tome. It is written, "Ah, the glow of a magical light can please your eye or blind your sight. When many colors contrasting glare must shift around and find a pair. And once they find their match, they please until all is done and their gift is free. This should not take you too much time. I wish I knew how to make this line. It rhymes until the end." Wait, I'm confused. What exactly? We need to match them, yes, but how exactly do we match anything? We have to. Ooh, right. So we need to switch things around. More or less, we. Right, this shouldn't be too complex. Start just hitting them. Did I do something wrong? Experience points gained 1000. No, their experience was my reward. Yes. Right, since Squinkle's in such bad shape, we're going to go back a little bit. Pretty sure I've been here already. Yeah, so the map just... The fog of war returns, but the map stays the same. Okay. Not much of a puzzle, but that sort of a puzzle I suppose is fine, because you don't need lengthy explanations to teach the rules. It has a simple mechanic, easy to understand, because you need to just hear the colors. In that sense, it's a good system, good basic system at the very least. This guy has different loot. So every time this map generates, he's going to switch things around. Damage reduction amulet, natural armor class increase. That amulet is actually pretty good. Cost 10,000 too. We'll sell Portion's Floor. No, so we'll have to manually identify it. Racial defense. Appraisal and reptilian. Good against reptilians. Actually, this might be a good thing to equip now. We might get a little bit of a bonus to our prices. Or reduction. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. Spellcasting. You have no interest in anything spellcasting related. Bludgeoning light. Hammer. Spell resistance. That's not a bad thing. Saving throws reflexes. That's nice, but I'm sort of. I want to see if I can get the amulet. Dark vision. Animal empathy. Dark vision, listen. Safety, bludgeoning, will saving throws, don't care. Lore +2. For Sound Blast burst, 1 use per day. That's not bad, it can stun on target. 1 use per day, but I sort of still want to have that, so. Damage resistance, sonic resistance, okay, that's weird, but better than nothing. I'm gonna sell it away though. Rubbish. Spellcraft, no. No. Why? Okay. Spell resistance ring. And I want to buy the amulet. Damage reduction. If they don't have, it's +1 to natural armor class, but also if they don't have magical weapons, I'll reduce the damage by 5. This isn't an amazing item. However, I think it's a good item right now. That's the thing. Because that's more or less every enemy I've been encountering so far. How much money do I have? No, 3,000 really bad. Armor class 23 at this point, also not bad. However, we need to get at least a second attack through some means, otherwise that'll increase our killing capabilities massively. So more puzzles, more rats, more something. Two directions to go. We'll keep heading north. Yeah, the puzzle here probably solved itself. I saw some sort of black like it. Camp, nothing else. It's a wizard, that's the problem.
Here you meet your end!
I'm not concerned about the troll. They can harm it all they want, but troll requires a certain level of offensive capability to overcome their regeneration. regeneration spawn. Epic battle music against rats. This is classic. I don't think I even want to attempt to identify this. We can try to do it when we get back to our shopkeeper. If that doesn't work out, pay the identification fee. Magical bullets. Dark Gorgon's Eye Gem. Large skeleton. Right. No matter what, I think our basic plan so far is working out quite nice. Basic plan was that we want to be able to use a killing machine that is not really tied or hindered by limited rest. So more or less the enemies can't really do damage at least at this stage. Don't have the attack power or the weapon enchantment to bypass my defenses. Loot is ridiculous. Just loot after loot after loot after loot after loot. That means we're probably looting thousands of gold pieces worth of loot almost from every group. The wizard. Very gigantic. I'm also glad to see that there's definitely exotic weapons being thrown around also as regular loot. Even a whip. Usually you don't see them at all. Gives me hope that it doesn't really matter that much which weapon we're gonna focus on. There's a reasonable chance to get a decent one. Also, there is enchantment system through the forges or anvils, so that's probably sufficient to keep your chosen weapon in a acceptable on an acceptable enchantment level. For medium, okay, this one. Pixie selling and human hybrids. Spellcaster. So pretty much standard feature of these three. Right. Good selection of spells. I'm actually positively surprised by this. Remove disease, antidotes. Remove blindness, deafness, ghostly visage, remove paralysis. How does this work? It's area of effect. That's how it works. I was wondering how the hell do you drink potions while you're paralyzed? You don't. Buy a couple lesser restoration potions. Maybe antidotes too. We seem to be getting a decent amount of cash constantly, so I don't have to worry about that. Better to have the potions. Slashing resistance. That's this will be not useful now because everyone is using normal weapons, and I have this 5 resistance against all damage types. But this could be useful later on. I'm holding on to this one. Attack bonus +1, enchantment bonus +1. How does it compare to this? It's better. Days. Spell resistance. Reflex saving throws. Whip +1. Saving throws versus death and intimidate +1. It's not a good thing, but better than nothing. Light armor. It's not a good one, but again, doesn't really matter. Damage resistance against negative energy. Twig. Quarterstaff, really. Rubbish mail. Rubbish armor. Prana +1. And use it. Dark vision. Don't care. Wand of Sleep, 50 charges. This might actually have use, because these enemies are probably around the level where it still works. It won't work for long though. Ray of Frost. Right, do I really give a shit? I don't think so. Saving throws, Fire, Fortitude. Damage resistance versus positive energy. 10. Real saving throw. That's ridiculous. Who the hell even uses positive energy attacks here? They're rare as hell. Fear saving throw. Reflex saving throw. Mind affecting. Reflex. Well, it's better than nothing. Weightless bullets. Aligned Biting. Bonus damage versus chaotic creatures. Regeneration. That's a nice one, but I don't think it's a good one now, because this provides much better protection. But I'll hold on to the regeneration amulet. We have 15,000 gold and nothing really to spend it on. I could go for a hell of it. Do you have something on offer? No? Damage resistance cloak. Holy shit. Damage resistance, magic resistance. 40. 40! Holy shit. That's immunity to all pretty much damage based attacks, except maybe Horrid Wilting, and it would still borderline make you immune to that. This is good because there's a lot of missile swarm spells that high level casters often throw. With this, they would do nothing, absolutely nothing. They would have 0 chance of doing it. I think the maximum damage they can do is something like 12 damage per missile, and they can fire up to 20 missiles. But Doesn't matter with this. It does cost 22,000, so I can't buy it, but outrageous magical items right from the start. And the amount of money coming in is also fairly substantial. So it won't take long for us to be able to afford those. Anyway, I think I'll leave things here. This is more of a good start and warm up. I was expecting a lot of loot, but I wasn't expecting the quality to jump just so early to something so good. Right, we have 3 out of the 9 done. Well, next time we probably can do the rest, because we're constantly getting better equipped at doing this.